What's up, everybody? Smoove Cosplayer here, your favorite saucy dancing cosplayer, bringing you another episode of Smoove Conversations. My lovely guest tonight is Miss SuperFit with Ree. Ree, how you doing tonight?
Good. Hi.
So glad to have you on. I'm sorry. I know I done procrastinated with this. I done put it off for too long. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you had a list and it was like 1 through 1,000. I was like 1,000. It's cool. It's all good. It's all good. It's cool. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. I'm not offended. Not offended.
She ain't gonna
Hashtag offended.
At all. At all. So, Ree, I know the answer to this next question because you and I have done many panels together. I've heard the story myself, but for the people out there watching at home, when did you fall in love with cosplay?
Well, that would be about 5+ years ago without saying the exact year.
Okay.
Wink. Wink. Basically, my husband was going to DragonCon before me, years before me. And one day he came home and he was like, "Hey babe, I got a question." I'm like, "Okay, what's up?" And he's like, "Well, I was just wondering because I got a lot of friends that go to DragonCon and they bring their hot wives to DragonCon and they cosplay, and I was thinking I have a hot wife." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm hot. What's up?" It's like, I was wondering if you would, cosplay with me. And I was like, "Sure, okay, that sounds good." I'm like, "Wait a minute, he buttered me up first. Let's roll with it."
So
yeah.
Was the butter up necessary? Would you have said yes had he not buttered you up before?
I would have, but it was a lot better with the buttering. Like, you should always add the buttering. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. Yeah, always add that.
Right.
But yeah, he was like, I was like, "Yeah, okay, that sounds good. Okay, let's roll with it." And I guess because he was like, he didn't know if I would, like it or anything like that. So he picked his 2 favorite characters for me to cosplay as, which is Rogue from X-Men and Chun-Li from the video game Street Fighter. So I was like, cool. We're gonna roll with this. And at the time, I didn't sew or anything like that. So we had to find a seamstress, and we found a seamstress, and she like rocked the heck out of those costumes and everything. And the closer we got to DragonCon, the more nervous I became. I honestly didn't want to do it. I talked to him about it. I was like, "I don't think I want to do it. I'll just cosplay in the room and all this other stuff right here." Like I was mad tripping, like for real. And I was like, people are gonna want my picture. I'm a Black woman. I'm cosplaying someone that is white and Asian. Granted, I am Black and Asian, but that's a whole nother story. But anyway, so I was like, I don't know about it. We went to DragonCon, and again, I was thrown in the deep end. Like DragonCon to me is like the deep end. Like it's not a small con like MomoCon or AWA.
For the faint of heart,
Right. So I think I wore Rogue first. Don't quote me on that. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember. But I stepped out of the room. We had a hotel room at the time, and it was just like step, click. I'm like, oh snap. Oh my God. Like no one said anything crazy to me at that convention. And it was just, I fell in love. Like I was like, after it was over, I was already like, what do you want me to dress up as next? Like I was asking him, what did he want me to do? Like, before I started picking my own cosplay. So there's that. So yeah, I fell in love back, 5+ years ago. Wink.
All right. So how has that journey been, that 5-year journey between then and now in cosplay?
It's definitely been a journey. Like I said, I started out, he was the one going to DragonCon. He picked my first 2 costumes. And it was one of those things where I was familiar with Street Fighter, but I'm not a gamer like he is. I watch him play video games, but I'm not a I'm a casual gamer. I'm not like, oh my God, you know. But and I was familiar with Rogue and everything, but I wanted to become more familiar with the characters. So I read about them. I read everything I could read. You know, you have your phone, so Google is like your best friend. You can just read all that you can read. And so I started, you know, just so I could know and be familiar with it, not because anyone was quizzing me or anything like that. It's just that I wanted to be more familiar. So as the journey continued, he would pick a costume for me for, you know, a particular convention, and I would pick one for me. So I would usually debut like 2 new costumes at a convention. So I was picking my own and he was picking my own. And yeah, that's pretty much how it's changed, you know. So I make sure that every character that I wear, I have read about them, I'm familiar with them, and it's, you know, I just like to know about them. I don't want to just pick a random character. Not to say there's anything wrong with that, but me personally, I like to know who I'm cosplaying as, you know. So yeah, it's been a journey.
Have you ever picked a costume for him?
Oh man, that was good. Whoa, let me think about that. Honestly, no. I don't think I have. I have said, babe, I'm doing, you know, let's just say I'm doing Melina, you know, who's like, I want to do, you know, new sci-fi, but no, I've never picked a costume for him. That's not fair. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
I just started some trouble by asking that
question. No, I've never picked one for him. No.
I just saw that light bulb go off over your head. Like, oh.
It really did, because it was like the wheels were turning and I'm like, wait, did I? No. But when he did Bison, I did Cammy. No, he chose no, I have not. Thank you, Byron. There will definitely be some tension tonight. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Thank you for breaking up a happy home.
Welcome, I think, maybe.
I'm just kidding. Don't pay me no attention. I'm just kidding. But no, I have not. No. Honestly, I don't mind him picking my costume because I think that's how I started.
Yeah.
To me, actually, with the journey and how it changed, he actually stopped picking a cosplay for me. And I kind of became a little offended because, no, really, I'm being serious, because like a couple of years ago, I started like the journey itself. I used to like itself just from conventions. I used to go from photo shoot to photo shoot. And then now I cosplay with friends and it's a lot more fun. So it has definitely transformed. But a couple of years ago, I was like, babe, you know, you haven't picked a costume for me. And he was like, well, you pick your costumes yourself now. And you and Jabbar and Walter and Larry all have this little group thing going. So you can pick your own. It was almost like he was like tossing me out there like, yeah, you got it. You got this. And I'm like, wait a minute. You know, like, you know, it was our thing, you know? So yeah, he went back to picking it. I'm babbling, but it's true.
Yeah. All right. So backtracking to, because I know you said you identified most with Rogue and Chun-Li. What about those 2 women like stuck out to you?
Well, initially, again, those were his favorite characters. And like I said, I was familiar with them, but I always liked Chun-Li, like even when I was watching him play, and when I was casually playing Street Fighter and getting my butt kicked and trying to do the combos and everything, Chun-Li was my favorite character. So it was really easy for him to say, okay, Chun-Li, and then I also love Chun-Li as well, so it worked out. Rogue, on the other hand, she wasn't necessarily my favorite X-Men at the time, but as I learned more about her, she's like a tie with Storm, if we're being honest. So again, these are his characters that he chose, and I just kind of like, after I started learning about them, I was like, well, Chun-Li is my favorite Street Fighter character, so yeah, that works for me. And like I said, Rogue and like Storm kind of tie out. So yeah, I just had to learn about them on my own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned leading up to the first con, as you got close to it, you started feeling nervous, the apprehension and all of that, particularly about, oh, I'm Black, Rogue is white. I'm not fully, I'm Black and Asian, but Chun-Li is Asian. You know, talk to us about that a little bit, because I think there's still a lot of people who don't understand why that tension is there. Like, I get what you mean, but there are people out there who don't get why that's a thing, or why any of us would be apprehensive about it. Like, what made you nervous about those reasons?
Honestly, it's just difficult. We all know, people who are Black, it's just difficult being Black and being a nerd, and then turn around and you're gonna add another element on top of that, and that's putting on a costume.
Yeah.
Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, so it was one of those things where, I was just like, I didn't know. Again, I wasn't going to DragonCon. I worked at one of the host hotels when DragonCon happened every year. So I would see the cosplay, and I would sneak out from behind the front desk, and I'm going to the bathroom and take pictures and then run back to the front desk. I worked at the Marriott. So
how many bathroom breaks would you take a day?
Say what?
I said, how many bathroom breaks would you take per day?
The normal amount, like 3, 4, 5, 6. The normal amount. But yeah, so it was just like one of those things. I was like, so I didn't really know. Like, I was like, in this world, do the cosplayers that come out, are they cosplay accurate? So if they're cosplay accurate, I was like, well, this is not accurate because my skin doesn't match, so I didn't know. It was, I got thrown into the deep end. I wasn't going to DragonCon, so I didn't know. And I was like, I don't know. Well, people look at me like, I don't understand why you just didn't do Storm. I don't know why you just didn't do a Black character from Street Fighter instead of Chun-Li. So I didn't, it was just, so starting out, it was like, yay, hot wife gonna be in costume. And then 2-3 weeks out, when DragonCon was approaching, it was like, I don't think I want to do this. I'm so serious. Like, I was like, I don't think I want to do this. I don't. This isn't for me. And I have to be talked to by different people, different David and friends, and they were like, just do it. Oh, it's gonna be fine. And so, yeah.
Gotcha. So obviously now you've broken through that barrier. You've done countless characters who aren't Black, I think you've probably done I think you've done a couple of gender bends too by now, right?
I have.
So
I've done characters. Yeah, I've done male characters. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, I sure have.
So what got you there? What got you from being apprehensive about doing it to, I don't give a F now, I'm gonna just do my thing?
Well, this is another very true story. After that DragonCon, it was like Facebook, of course, was like the thing.
Yeah.
Before TikTok and all this other stuff. But I was on Facebook and I was getting these inbox messages, and it was like people that I didn't even know, Black women that were messaging me, inboxing me, and they were like, oh my God, you Rogue and your Chun-Li is so badass. Oh my God, I can't believe you did that, and you looked amazing, and it's making me want to go ahead and cosplay, something other than this. And I was getting these messages, and I was like reading them to David. I was like, these people are thanking me for wearing Rogue and Chun-Li. And they're like literally thanking me and telling me I'm inspiring them to do something other than a Black character. And I was like, wow, it was amazing, because I was like, I didn't think I was breaking some sort of barrier or anything like that. Again, they didn't even know that I didn't want to do it. I was scared, but I guess someone had to be the, person that just kind of, not saying that I was the only person, but you get what I'm saying. I was just getting messages, and I was like, wow, I'm inspiring other Black people people to just do something other than Dixon and, you know, this and that. I'm like, cool, rock it, like do it. So I think after that, after, like I said, being thrown into the deep end and doing those two characters, it just didn't matter after that, because I didn't have anyone at that time say anything crazy to me, and people took my picture. It was awesome. I had a great time. It was like full steam ahead after that. I was like, I didn't initially do gender bend, but I did do characters that were not, you know, Black characters. So yeah.
Now,
that's what happened.
Yeah. So you mentioned that nobody said anything to your, you know, in person initially, but when I say my favorite story, you know, like it's one of those love to hate kind of things. My favorite story that you told about being in your Rogue cosplay, and somebody had a little something to say about that. What happened with that?
Well, that was MegaCon in Florida, and I had already worn Rogue at, like I said, DragonCon, and I brought Rogue to MegaCon. I can't remember what year that was, 5+ years ago. Anyway, I can't remember what year that was, but I was walking with a friend of mine, and she's a white female, and we were just walking through the con floor, and someone yelled, "Rogue isn't Black," and I stopped, and I was like, wow, okay, like, you know what I mean, like, what can, you know, and I didn't even know who it was initially, and my friend was like going off, like she was more upset about it than I was. Like I guess being Black, you're used to like either, you know, some sort of underhanded racist comment or something like that. We have to have thick skin, so I guess I just, you know, not to say that I should have shrugged it off, but at the same time, like, what was I gonna do? Fight him? You know? But my friend, she was going in, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, girl, come on here. Like, it's okay. I'm like grabbing her hand. I was like, how is she more offended than me? Yeah. I should have been more offended. But again, like I said, you just, in this skin that we have, I feel like we have to have really thick skin, because, you know, we deal with a lot, you know, So yeah, that happened, you know. I was like, and I think the only thing that I said was, well, man, I really should probably go and take this costume off. You know, I think I said something like really smart like that. But other than that, she was like going in, and I'm like, girl, calm your ass down.
Now, how far away was this person when they said that?
Okay, so me and her, and there was like a little crowd of people. I'd say about 15 feet away, maybe, because he yelled it really loud, like, "Bro, give the book," and I was like, okay, maybe I should just go back home and take this costume off. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, I know she's not Black. Thank you for that.
Right.
You know, but
obvious. We wouldn't have known that until you said that, right?
Right. Thank you for that great piece of information that no one knew.
Right.
Yeah, but that did happen, unfortunately. But I guess, like I said, I think we shrug a lot of things off. You know, we shrug a lot of things off. But I'm not saying it's right, but I know that
not at all. Yeah. And, you know, it's still the most interesting thing to me about that is the fact that, like you said, he was, what, 15, 20 feet away, something like that?
Yeah.
Would you say it to her face? I'm not trying to incite, you know, physical conflict. I'm just saying, you weren't going to say it to her face. I wish you would.
Honestly, I don't think he would have wanted to try that, you know?
I'm waiting for the day that either somebody does that to me in person or somebody does that to somebody else within earshot of me. I'm gonna just look at the person and just
like slow clap. What do you want?
Captain Obvious. I didn't even know you were Captain Obvious until you said that. Where's your Captain Obvious cosplay?
Man, When I tell you he was telling me something new, I had to go look Rogue up and was like, oh my God, holy crap, she is not black.
Wow. I never would have known. Never would have known.
Oh my goodness.
I can't even say e-thug in this situation because it wasn't online, but it still was cowardly. It still was from a distance. Yeah.
It was. And I can only imagine. I'm so thankful to this day that David wasn't there because you know.
He might not have even uttered that. He might have said it under his breath that day.
Yeah, I don't think he would have been as bold, but I think since I was walking with her, he just felt the need to yell that out. And I can honestly say, and I'm thankful for this as well, that is the only in-person negative experience I've had where someone has, said something crazy to me.
Yeah.
I've had something online, which that's a whole nother story. And I was like, ooh, okay, cool. But yeah.
Yeah, and I parked there for a while just because everybody at home, y'all, I probably sound like a broken record by now preaching about this, but I asked her all these questions because some people still don't get why representation matters. Because of incidents like that, the Rogue Isn't Black incident, and that leads to, all the women who flooded Reed's inbox saying, hey, I'm so glad you did that. That inspired me. I'm so glad you did Rogue as a Black woman. I'm so glad you did Chun-Li as a Black woman. And to somebody who has never heard this stuff, to somebody who doesn't even know that this is an issue, you might be like, why is this even a big deal? Oh, well, why do we have to attach a color to cosplay? Why do we even have to talk about this? Why do we have 28 Days of Black Cosplay? Right. Why do we have BlurredCon? Why do we have HBCUCon? Why do we have all of this? If a white person didn't this is why that exists. This is why this is a thing.
They don't know. They don't know. Like it's like I said, we deal with it, and we deal with a lot more even outside of cosplay. Yeah. That's just adding a whole nother element to it. But we're not even gonna go into the other stuff. But my point is, they don't know. They honestly don't know. They're like, they don't understand, but we deal with it, so we understand.
Yeah. And we don't want to have to do this stuff. We don't want to have separate Black cosplay groups. We don't want to have 28 Days of Black Cosplay. We never really wanted to have BET. Not that I'm a huge supporter of it, but there's a reason why. We wanted to take control of presenting ourselves. Yes, we are some of that negative stuff that's out there, but we're the good stuff too. So exactly. So yeah. And
it's the same with any race. I mean, you have people that are, bad seeds in any race, and then you have, so the issue is we're often just lumped in under this one umbrella. That's the issue, So you have to have representation, and like I said, that happened in person. But I've had things happen online that I didn't even know about. I didn't even know. You know what? I'm hijacking whatever your next question was.
No, you're fine. Keep going.
But I didn't even know that people would take your photo and put it in a forum somewhere and without your knowledge. Yeah. And they would be in there just ripping your photo to shreds, just tearing you apart. I did not even realize that was a thing until it happened to me. And I was like, wow. Now, it wasn't all bad, but the point was, one of my Red She-Hulk pictures was put in a thread, and the person, it was worded very ugly to begin with. People have to think before you even label someone else's picture. If I was posting someone else's picture and I say, hey, this Starfire is beautiful, blah, blah, blah. What do you guys think? Or what, blah, 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 show her some love. Yeah. That is totally different than, I'm not sure who this character is, but what do y'all think? Who do you think, blah, blah, blah. This is blah. It was worded very crazy, and it was worded not in a very positive way. So it kind of like enlisted people to put these comments on there. You know what I mean? So
it's like people post someone's picture and they just simply put thoughts under it. I've never, maybe once out of several hundred, but for all intents and purposes, I've never seen a post that had just thoughts under it that led to something positive.
Right.
They just they don't want to be the first person to say something negative, so they just want their friends to. That's their way of opening up the floodgates for all the negative.
It's a segue to Oh yeah.
I remember leaving it was a group about X-Men on Facebook, and I ended up leaving the group because every time somebody posted something about cosplay, like someone's cosplay picture, didn't credit the person, and they like just picked them apart. Like, she needs bigger boobs. Her legs aren't long enough.
Goodness.
Stuff like that. Like, this is one girl. There was, I think it was Belle Cher, I believe. She did a White Queen. Beautiful, like beautiful Emma Frost. And they were going in on her. They said something about her kneecaps didn't look right. I'm like, who are you?
Lord.
Who the hell is you to be?
Right. Yeah.
You got people just have this mentality that, oh, if this is on the internet, then I have carte blanche, however you say that, to just criticize this and pick this apart.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They get called out about it. Oh well, it's just my opinion.
Yeah. It's so bold behind a keyboard, so bold.
Right.
And it is so insane. Like that Red She-Hulk picture. I think out of the 100 comments, it was probably like 2 that were just awful. 2 or 3 like awful. One person said I look like a man. Yeah. Another person said, I'm not sure who this is supposed to be, but something is going. It was so crazy. And to me, it was like one of my best Red She-Hulk pictures. And I was like, man, I look badass. I mean, the muscles is popping, and I'm like, I clearly look like a woman. Like, seriously? I was like, what? But yeah, it was just one of those things. And yeah, unfortunately, my husband found out, and he got on there, and him and the dude it was a whole. I was like, you are not gonna fight this man. he was ready. He was just like, I'm gonna be at this con right here. Like, I'm like, dude, I don't care that much. Like, I don't care. These people are so bold behind a keyboard.
They be that though. Like the few times that I've heard of that actually happening, were like, hey, I heard you said this and this online. Here we are. Stay quiet. There's my man Calvin. He was like, yeah, somebody wanted to just call the police. I'm like, no, we just talking about this. Like,
right. So bold.
Yeah. Like to this day, my pinned tweet on my old Twitter account is, if you wouldn't say it in the streets, don't say it in your tweets.
You know what? I agree with that.
If you were cowered up, if somebody approached you about it, like in person, don't say it online, because it's there. Oh, Twitter ain't real life. Tell that to lawyers and judges who done use that stuff in evidence. Say that to people who's lost their jobs because of something they said online.
It's so crazy. If you're thinking it and you type it and you hit enter, it's what you intended to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and I'm not my tweets. I'm like, who's tweeted it then? Right.
It's so crazy. Like these are your thoughts. You should be able to back up what you say. You know, if you post it online, say it face to face.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you can have your, like I've said this many times, you can have your opinion and keep it to yourself. That's possible.
That is a really old saying. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I mean, it's really simple.
The internet has not changed that, but apparently it has.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Yo, so backtracking a little bit, you mentioned, because I think you said this maybe about a year ago when we did that panel for the pre-gamers for the virtual DragonCon. event, right?
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned about how you started DragonCon, going to all the photo shoots and stuff and getting burnt out, and then now you're just kind of cosplaying with friends. So I'm all about the place should have the place should have never left the word cosplay in the first place, first of all. But I'm about putting the play back into cosplay, like just having fun. So what how do you even want to frame this? I guess one, what makes cosplay fun to you? And two, what sparked that transition? Like what made you move from going from photo shoot to photo shoot to just kind of hanging out?
Honestly, when we started 5+ years ago, we didn't know anybody, not really, like a lot of people. We knew them, but not knew them, you know what I mean? And we met some friends there at the time, and they were just like, they were really popular. I will say that they were extremely popular, and it was just like, oh snap, the popular kids are cool with the new kids, because to me, we were the new kids.
Yeah.
And we just kind of started hanging with them, and then they were just like, they would be like, oh, there's this photo shoot, this private photo shoot, and let's be real, like back then it was almost like an honor, like, oh, they want me to be in this private photo shoot. I'm like, oh snap, look who's made it. So I'm like, okay, cool, so it was like, okay, cool, I go to this photo shoot, and it was like, they want you to, and then you don't really think about it until you think about it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It was just like, can you be Vixen? Can you be Storm? And I realized that for private photo shoots, I always had to be the Black character. I was fulfilling a role, and I'm just being honest. That's just being honest. I was fulfilling, David would have to be, Rhodey, blah blah blah, whatever. You get what I'm saying. So it was just like,
No, I'm saying I see where you're going.
Right. So it was like, okay. So at first it was like, oh, cool. I'm playing with the cool kids. And then like it just kind of became more like, I was actually kind of offended. Like, I'm like, I wanted to do something else. I didn't come out the box doing a Storm or something like that. I came out the box doing Rogue and Chun-Li, and now you are putting me back in a box, and you want me to be the Black character for your private photo shoot. So I did it for a few years, actually. I did it. I was, I resisted, but I did it. And I was like, it was just go to DragonCon or MegaCon or whatever con, and I would, put on this costume, run into a photo shoot, put on. It was exhausting, and it wasn't fun. Like, I actually talked with David, and I was like, I'm not enjoying this anymore. I told him, I was like, I don't even think I'm gonna go anymore. Like, I was gonna quit. Like, I didn't want to do it anymore because it was like not fun for me anymore, if we're being perfectly honest. And we had this conversation, and he was like, yeah, I understand, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes I want to be Wonder Woman. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Sometimes I want to be the lead white character.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was just, and I was never gonna be that in these private photo shoots, So I told him, I was like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. I'm just not having fun, da da da. And we kind of came to this agreement, like, okay, let's cut back on the photo shoots. Wait a minute, light bulb. We're not obligated to say yes.
Yeah.
Honey, you can say no. You do know you can say no, right?
Right.
So I started saying no a lot. Like, no became like my favorite word. I would be like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Can you do?
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I can't. I'm sorry. So I started saying no a lot, and I transitioned out of it because, again, it became not fun for me. Like, I was honestly thinking about just quitting and just not doing it anymore. I was tired, I was burnt out. By the time DragonCon was over, or whatever con it was over, I was more exhausted and like not even in a good way. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was just like, this excuse my language, this shit is not fun anymore. Like I'm not having fun anymore.
Exactly.
And so I started just transitioning out. I started saying no. David started saying no, and we started getting less and less invites because we weren't willing to be the black character for whatever group needs to be, whatever needs to be fulfilled. And I was like, I'm cool with that. It's nice waking up when I want to wake up and casually putting on a costume when I want to put on a costume and meeting up with friends. Oh my God. Look who's having fun again.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was just, that was how that transition took effect. It was just, honestly, I was gonna stop. I was like, I'm not enjoying this anymore. And somewhere along the lines, I met, Jabbar and Larry and Walter, and we we've been cosplaying together for a few years now. So that, that helped put fun back in cosplay. So yeah, it put the play back in cosplay.
There you go. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what stopped making it fun was realizing, I'm getting invited to these things because they want me to, like you said, fill a role. They want, they need somebody black to be this character. So we're going to ask her. So that whole expectation, that being put into a box that you weren't in the first place, the whole, just not the freedom to do what you wanted to do. Like they weren't going to let you be Wonder Woman in this group. They weren't going to let you be Jean Grey in this group.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
When you started, cosplaying with friends, now did you still end up doing like maybe shoots with them, but in a way that it was fun, in a way that was like, hey, I got the freedom to do what the heck I want to do?
Actually, yes. I just said no to a lot of the photo shoots, and I would say yes to maybe one or two. Yeah. Something like that. Because, they were, my friends. It wasn't like they were just like some random people asking me to be in the group. Mm-hmm. They were my friends at the time. Some of them, Some of them I'm still friends with, and some of them, unfortunately, as life would have it, so, but yeah. So I didn't say no to all of them, but I did. I cut it down tremendously. Like I would be like, oh, thank goodness this DragonCon I only have 2 photo shoots, or this DragonCon I only have, 1 photo shoot on this day, whatever. And it works for me. It works for me.
Yeah. You brought up a really good point, and I don't think I've made a video about this before, but like y'all watching at home, if y'all are trying to make cosplay groups, not a cosplay group, but like doing a group cosplay, like trying to, hey, we want to do X-Men, or we want to do all members of My Hero Academia or whatever. I'm not saying don't ever reach out to a black person to do a black character. I'm not saying don't ever do that.
Right.
But check yourself before you do it, because that is one thing that we all get tired of. Hey, we got all these people, but we need this one black character. Can you do it? Like, were you reaching out to this person before that? Like, do you know this person before that? It's so many moving parts to that. So that's why I can't.
It is.
I can't give a big blanketed rule for that, but just be cautious of the situation. Just be mindful that this person might have, like, it happened to me once, but it was in a good way. Like, so my
in a good way.
Yeah, like,
okay.
So my Legends of 80s wrestling group that we do on Friday nights. The vast majority of them were all in the same G.I. Joe club together. So I saw them. I saw pictures of them doing the wrestling thing. I was like, I want to get in on this. And because normally I don't pigeonhole myself into, I gotta do characters I look like, but when it comes to real life characters, like flesh and blood people who actually exist, Then I'm like, okay, I need to pick somebody who I resemble, right? So on my own, I came up with I should be Virgil from because one of my
Yeah.
friends does $1 Million Man. I was like, he was one of the people I was closest to. I'm closest to in the group, and I'm like, he's $1 Million Man. I might as well be Virgil. Let's do it. So I talked to my man who was the head of the group. I said, hey man, y'all mind if I join y'all as Virgil? He was like, we actually didn't want you to do it, but we didn't feel right asking you because they didn't want to do what people have been doing to you. So I was just like, so it happened, but it was my own choice in the first place. They wanted it to happen, but they were respectful in that they didn't ask me out of respect for me. So I appreciate them for doing that. But yeah, like I said, it's like, y'all, it's not a blanket rule. Don't feel like you're automatically being racist for asking somebody, but
right.
Check your motivations. Check, do they have the freedom to be another character? All that kind of stuff. So.
Oh no, and I have a picture of your Virgil, by the way.
Okay.
Yes, well, yes, I do. I love wrestling. Wrestling that's my passion. I love wrestling. But yeah, I want to join one of those groups, but I just haven't done it. I want to join, but I haven't done it. I don't have a reason why, but I want to. I don't even know who I could be. I could be anybody, honestly, but I do want to
turn it. But I'm having trouble picturing something. But we gonna circle back to that. We gotta.
Are you watching wrestling now? Like, are you familiar with any of the wrestlers now?
I am not. Like, I'm so out of touch with it. Like,
oh really?
I can only name a few people right off the top of my head. Like, all the New Day guys.
Oh yeah.
Roman Reigns. What's her name?
What's her name?
She always black girl always has colorful hair.
Oh, you mean Naomi with the green hair? Are you talking about her, or is she black or no?
Crazy. I follow her on Instagram too, but I can't remember her name right now. The boss chick.
Oh, Sasha Banks.
Yes,
Sasha Banks.
Because I was like, she was in The Mandalorian recently, and
Sasha Banks.
I'm picturing her in my head, and I just couldn't pull the name out. That's how out of touch I am with wrestling. Even the one who I know, I couldn't pull the name out.
Yeah.
I haven't watched because I ain't had cable in so long. And I always got something else to do on the night that wrestling would be on. So I love it. Like back when I had bachelor life, back when I had roommates, like if one of them was watching it, I was like, oh, wrestling's on, I'm gonna sit down and watch it. But I wouldn't go purposely watch it on my own.
Oh, see, I've been watching wrestling since like elementary school.
Yeah, that's what started for me. My mom actually got me into it. Like, I was watching since Stone Cold was stunning Steve Austin. Like,
yeah, that's back in the day.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember, because I'm like 22, so I vaguely remember stunning Steve Austin. You're not about to judge me right now, okay? What you're not gonna do is judge me.
Do you see a gavel in my hand? No gavel in my hand at all.
But I feel like in your head, you're judging me. Like, I feel it.
I don't even know what we're talking about. What were we talking about in the first place? Wrestling? Something like that?
Wrestling, yes. And them not wanting to ask you to be Virgil, and you volunteered. See,
there we go.
I got you back on track. See,
back in.
I reeled it back in.
Gotcha. So Reed, let's tackle the name SuperFit with Reed, because I feel like we both kind of got a similar thing going on. I kind of incorporated the salsa and cosplay. You've incorporated your fitness with cosplay. How did you decide to do that? Well, that, and what made you even get? Because you've been doing fitness since before you were cosplaying, right?
Yes.
All right, so how did that start, and how did that and cosplay mix together for you?
Okay, so, well, like I said, Facebook. And I use my real name on Facebook, blah, blah, blah. Cool. I was on a journey to lose weight and just become healthier, live a healthier lifestyle. And so in the beginning on my Facebook page, I would post, just finished, working out, ran 3 miles, blah, blah, blah. And then I don't know if you remember, but there was like this point on social media where people were like, who cares about your fitness posts? Like, it was like a whole big thing. Like, no one cares that you just worked out.
You don't care. Shut up.
That was the thing. And so I was like, well, I started seeing like little memes. No one cares about what you ate, your healthy salad, yada, yada, yada. So I was like, you know what? There's someone that cares about my journey. So I'm just going to create a separate page where I can post all my fitness posts. So that's what happened. I created a page. I still have my Sharita Dunbar, but then I created a page and I was trying to think of a name, and everyone called me Ree. Like my close friends call me Ree, Sharita, Ree, just kind of
right.
That. So that's how Ree
caught that.
Yes. So that's how that came out. So Ree, Sharita, that's how that came about. And I was like, well, what kind of name can I have? And I was like, again, new with the cosplay thing. And so like superhero, I was like, oh, SuperFit with Ree. It was actually called Get SuperFit with Ree, because it wasn't SuperFit with Ree was not to imply that I was the most fit person, or it wasn't to imply that I was just like muscles on top of muscles or anything like that. It was just it was me documenting my journey. That's what it was. And I tried to put a little cosplay in there-ish. So it was like, superhero, supergirl, Superman, SuperFit. I was like, oh, that works. SuperFit with Ree. So it was, again, Get SuperFit with Ree. I took the get off and I was like, let's just get SuperFit with Ree.
Yeah.
That's simple. And so I had this whole separate page where I posted, this and, recipes, blah, blah, blah. I created a whole YouTube channel that, that's still a thing. And I was like, okay, cool. And then after a con, you know how you go to a con, we all know, you start to get all these friend requests. You just met them this one time and it was like, boom, like all these friend. And I was like, oh my God. So they were sending it to my personal, my personal Facebook. And I was like, how do I do this? And I was like,
I don't know, y'all.
Let's just add cosplay on the
end. Yes.
So it became SuperFit with Ree Cosplay. And the cosplay is like very optional. Like that last word is very optional. So really it's just SuperFit with Ree, because that still kind of incorporates, you get the point, Right. So I was like, hey, just go like my SuperFit with Ree page, and you can follow my journey over there, and I will. And then that became fitness and cosplay. So I started putting all my fitness and cosplay things on this one page. Then, like I said, meeting Jabbar, and he's all in television and editing, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. He's like branding, and I'm like, I never even thought about this stuff. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? And I had like my Twitter account and my Instagram account and blah blah blah, and they all had like different names, and he was like, no, it needs to be all one name across the board. And I'm like,
I heard his voice.
So I went to Instagram and it was like SuperFit with Ree, Twitter, SuperFit with Ree, and then like TikTok, SuperFit with Ree. Like everything became just this one thing, and I was like, boom. Okay, we have a brand, we have a name, and it incorporates everything. Again, the cosplay is optional. It's just,
right.
Yeah, so it's really just SuperFit with Ree. So yeah, and so now it's just, I can talk about my fitness journey because, I'm constantly on a journey.
Yeah.
I just, no one's healthy 100% of the time, let's be real. So I feel like I'm always on a journey, and I just get to kind of combine the two. And I'm also one of those people that if I don't look a certain way, I'm not going to wear this costume. Mm-hmm. So that's also me, but that's a personal preference.
Yeah.
Because that's how I am. I'm not saying that anybody has to be or look a certain way, but again, it's a personal preference. It's a journey that I'm on, and it's just how I am. So I post free workouts, recipes, and things like that on my YouTube, on my pages. Follow along workouts. You know, anybody that wants to get healthy with me or get super fit with me, you know, they can. So yeah, that's how that all became about. It wasn't to imply that I was the most fit or the most anything. It was just trying to tie cosplay and fitness into one.
Gotcha. So I asked this as someone who is, I'm on my journey too, got my struggles and whatnot. It's weird. COVID actually helped me. I hate saying that, but I think I lost I went from March to this time last year, I went from 221 to about 184. All because I was in the office and I did not have access to all the stuff I wasn't supposed to be eating. So
you know what? You were the opposite, because a lot of people went the opposite direction. Yeah. No, seriously. I actually read a report where it said most people during COVID put on roughly 30 pounds. 30 pounds in 1 year.
Wow.
And you went in the opposite direction. That deserves a clap, like for real. Seriously.
Now, it's funny. I go back in the office because I lost my job at the end of December.
Oh.
And got a new one, and of course that one they were forcing us to be in the office. Why'd I shoot back up though? Like I stopped myself before I got all the way back to my start weight, but so I'm coming back down. I was 195 yesterday, so I got 10-ish to go, about 10 or so pounds to go before I get back to where I was this time last year. Because I was trying to go.
So was it because you had access to more things, or what was that?
Yeah, being. I say it like this. My mom said to me, "Yeah, this is all you. Because if you only ate what Naya cooked for you, you wouldn't be in this mess." So, yeah, just being out and having access to.
Gotcha.
Because I ain't keeping the sweets at home. I ain't keeping for me. It's Pepsi, pizza, and chocolate. I'm not keeping all three of those around at the house. So being out every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are my vices. So I say that to ask, what are your hurdles? Like, what are the things? Like, what's been the hardest parts of your fitness journey?
Just during COVID, or just in general?
In general.
Honestly, it's never been the working out aspect. I think, as with a lot of people, it's always the food.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, if you are, even if you're trying to gain weight, gain muscle, lose weight, whatever the case may be, it's like 85-90% your diet, what you put in your body, and then the other like 10 to 15% is, you know, the working out or whatever. But so yes, food. I like food, and it's not that I don't.
Whatever it is.
Yes, SuperFit with Ree likes food. The girl likes her food. However, it has over the years. I did a lot of yo-yo dieting, so that was another reason why I came up with this page, and I wanted to document my journey, and also putting it out there like that, people seeing it makes you more accountable, you know? So putting it out there like that, I was like, okay, I gotta kind of have some act right. So it was like a lot of it was like a lot of yo-yo dieting, and it was like I had this very unhealthy relationship with food. If I ate something, I was like, I need to like run 6 miles, or I need to do some extra cardio to burn this off. And that's not a good way to be. That's not a good mentality. It's not a good mentality, and I know better. So it has taken some time for me to kind of get to this point where I have a healthy relationship with food. And I understand that I don't have to eat healthy 100% of the time. I can still have this, and this in moderation. And not, look at something like, oh, if I have that, I'm gonna have to do this many squats or this many jumping jacks. That's just, it was bad. So I did a lot of yo-yo dieting. I took a lot of diet pills. I'm not proud of it, but I'm being honest because, hopefully it will, maybe help somebody out there that's watching. But, it starts with what you put on the inside. You can work out all day long, but if that diet's not right, you're not going to achieve the goal that you want to achieve, And also it's just an overall being healthy, So that's why I started my fitness journey. I can show you some pictures, not going to show you right now, but eventually I'm going to reveal those pictures where your girl was close to 200 pounds. Yep. 5'4". So that was not healthy. So I'm not ashamed of it. I think it makes me more relatable, So I'm not coming from a point where I was just always super skinny, except, like high school, obviously. But, I understand what it's like to struggle with your weight and things like that. So, that's why SuperFit with Ree was born. Again, not to imply, I just wanted to clarify that I'm the most fit anything. It was just how to tie cosplay in with fitness. That's it.
Gotcha. Right. So I'm gonna hit you with a few, some random, not so random questions as we back up. But this one isn't so random because it's related to pretty much everything we talked about. Both with cosplay and fitness, what's something that you know now that you wish you knew when you started?
Something that in relation to cosplay and fitness, I wish that I had told myself, my cosplay self back then, that I did not have to look a certain way in order to put on a costume. I wish, that I, told myself, you don't have to starve yourself, because that was some things that I did, not eating enough calories, to the point where I literally passed out at work. That's how bad it was. I was eating under 1,100 calories, and that's not healthy at all. And this was my second year into cosplay, where I was I had to be so small to get into this costume. And I just wish I kind of just told myself then, myself now telling myself then, look girl, cosplay, have fun, you look great, do the damn thing. Eat your food, eat over 1,200 calories. Because if you are working out the way I generally work out, which is really hardcore, I do at least 2 workouts a day, cardio and then a weight training workout, I was not fueling my body as I should have. Eating under 1,100 calories was absolutely ridiculous, and cutting carbs was absolutely ridiculous.
Dang.
Yeah. It was not healthy, and I know better now.
Even as somebody who doesn't know that much about it, even I know that's bad.
But again, I've talked to different people. I've had people message me, and they'll say something like, I'm on this 1,200 calorie thing, and I'm like, okay, well, wait a minute, 1,200 calories? Well, hold up, first of all, how tall are you? How much do you weigh? And how much do you work out? Okay, honey, you're not eating enough. You know what I mean? You're starving yourself. So I know better. I'm pretty much self-taught. And so I have all the knowledge, is all there. So I know better now.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
And I can teach others to learn from Ree's mistakes.
We make them
Don't be like Ree. Don't pass out at work. That's not a good look. It's not a good look.
Oh man, you just gave me a bad flashback. I remember I took one of my stints being at LA Fitness. I took the free personal training offer. Mm-hmm. This dude was just all about the money. He was just trying to get me to sign up for like more personal training sessions or whatever.
Oh yeah.
He had me like, I don't know how out of shape I was, but at the end of this assessment workout, I'm drenched in sweat. I'm lightheaded. I literally had to lay on the floor next to his office desk. While I'm laying on said floor, this dude is still talking to me about what kind of plan I want to get signed up for. If I was not more tired than if I was as tired as I was, I would have just got up and walked out.
Oh man, that's tough.
I'm like,
that's awful.
I am dying down here, and you trying to talk numbers with me?
Yeah, he's like, can you sign up for 6 more personal training sessions? I mean, once you come to, can you sign?
Yes, I'm not in the seat in front of your office desk. I am on the floor by the window where everybody who's walking by the sidewalk could see me if they were looking. But you want to talk?
That's tough. Yes, that's tough. Now was it the workout, or was it what you were eating, or your lack thereof?
No, it was the workout. Like, it was just how intense it was.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, some trainers feel like if they just make you just boom, 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 and to the point where you're about to pass out, you've had a great workout. It's like, no, everybody's body is different.
Yeah.
You know? And you have to treat them accordingly. You know, you have to also build to get to those tougher, like, boot camp style workouts, you know?
Yeah.
But when you're all about the money, which is awful.
Yeah.
And you did say LA Fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What else was I going to ask? So we were talking about group cosplays earlier. You may have already done this, but what's your bucket list group cosplay?
Ooh. Oh, bucket list for cosplay. I want to be able to wear some sort of armor. I haven't really narrowed it down. I'm claustrophobic.
Oh.
Fact. Yeah. I've worn gender bend Spider-Man. Well, yeah, gender bend Spider-Man. And I knew I was claustrophobic, but I didn't know how bad it was. See, I just go on these stories, but you need to know why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Right.
So I didn't realize how bad the claustrophobia was until my husband tried to put the Spidey mask, like over my head. And I was like, no, wait. I was like, wait. It was so crazy. I was like, is this girl really afraid to put this costume over her head? I was really afraid. This chick was really afraid. And I was like, oh my God. So after he tried it like 3 or 4 times, I was like, okay, I can breathe. I have to tell myself I can breathe. And then we put it on slowly. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm good. It takes all of that just for me to rock the Spider-Man costume.
Wow.
Yeah, just want to say that, okay? So now back to bucket list cosplay. I want to be able to wear an armor that has a helmet without me going into full panic mode. Like, I want to be like, I just want to step out and people not know it's me. And then I take it off and it's like, boom, black girl up under here. You didn't see that coming.
Yes.
So something with, well, I will say this. I am working on a Pink Ranger cosplay. and that has a helmet.
Yeah. You got this.
Yeah.
You got this.
I'm gonna need you to wish me luck.
Got you.
That is a thing. So yeah, I think I would like to do rescue.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So we are going to work on that. So that bucket list item is going to be a reality very soon. So yeah, I do want to do that. But what's going to have to happen is there's going to have to be some fans in there, because I want that shock element. Like I want to step out in the armor, and then I want to take the helmet off and be like, look at my big old face up there.
Explosions going on in the background, people cheering.
I know, roses start flying, falling down. Like I want it works.
No, you gotta hit your superhero landing in the beginning. Like, look up.
You know it.
Such a poser.
I am definitely, yeah. Also, I want to do another something from Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
I actually want to do a different version of Melina, but I want like the jacked up teeth and everything. Yeah. So that's another one. Those two are like high up on my list. So yeah, I do want to do that. I also would like to do the version of Cammy, where she looks like him. I want to do that as well. Like I think that's such a cool costume. So I want to do that as well. So I do the other one, I do another version, but I want to do that version.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I just want to be able to rock it. I want to rock it. I really want to rock something where take that helmet off. That's what I'm looking forward to. Taking that helmet. Yes. And I just want to be like, yes. Yeah, you didn't see that coming.
All right.
What about you?
Oh, me. Oh, okay. I may be closer to doing this than I ever have been, but it's still maybe a year or two off, just because it's gonna cost some money. So I'm a big Wu-Tang fan, right?
Okay.
And one of my favorites is Ghostface Killer.
Go ahead.
So, everybody in Wu got like a gajillion aliases, right?
Yeah.
So Ghostface's alias, his first one was Tony Stark.
Okay.
So ever since I started cosplaying, I had this vision of doing Iron Man armor, but with the Wu-Tang logo in the place of the arc reactor.
Oh, you are the mashup king.
Thank you.
I should have known you weren't going to say something that was just like this one thing. I knew it was going to be a mashup. I knew it.
So I found somebody who, I found a couple of people who could do it, but I'm just like, okay, I got to save up several hundred.
Woo.
To get it done the way I want, because I'm no phone smith, and it's gonna take me longer to become good at phone smithing than it is for me to save up the money to buy it. So
you know what? I'm with you. I'm so with you. I still am a novice seamstress. I can sew some things, and I have made my own costumes before. Not in the beginning. I had to learn, but I totally understand. If you pay for it and get it.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what I did with my Napa, because I was just like, props to people who do it themselves.
Right.
I've seen some people who do it themselves, and I'm like, I don't want mine to look like that. If I do it myself, it's gonna look worse than that.
It's gonna
you see some people where like the armor is like there's this much space in between like the armor and their body, and
right.
Or some people were like the shoulders on the armor is like floppy and stuff. And again, mad props to you if you can make it yourself.
If you can, go for it.
I'm not knocking you for making it yourself. I just know my skill does not match my vision for how I want it to look. And if I can find somebody to do it, and I can save up the money, I worked hard on that cosplay, because up until to that point, I had never saved up that much money to buy to pay for something. So
right.
Hard effing work saving that money for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When you have other life responsibilities, such as, you know, having a place to live and, you know, electricity and food and water and all that stuff. Oh yeah, I understand.
Yeah, those aren't important, are they? Yeah, they are.
I mean, like, if you just let the electricity get cut off one time, who needs lights? I mean, lights are so overrated. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's that. There's I think I might actually do this one sooner. Archangel from X-Men.
Oh man, with the wings and everything.
That one's actually I've been thinking about doing him since first DragonCon that I went to. This is 2012, I think. So that whole next month, every day between calls at work, I'm like putting stuff on my Pinterest board, trying to figure out who am I going to do next year? Who am I going to do next year? Because it was I didn't know about other cons back then. And I'm like, oh, what am I going to do for next year? I got to have something new. And I couldn't find people to do the wings. And then when I finally found somebody who could do the wings the way I wanted, I mean, I figured, okay, I probably just have to come off a couple of $100. No, this was like
for wings.
1,000. I was just like, I don't care about it that bad. But I finally found somebody on Etsy who does these. Because the other thing for me, especially with kids now, I got a lack of storage space. So I'm like, I need to be able to make this compact. So I found some folks on Etsy who do these big old, like, it kind of looks Victoria's Secret-ish, but it's like these really big, like, pairs of wings. But look at the video of it, you really can just throw it on your shoulders, but you pull it out of a box, maybe about this big, and they unfold it, and it's actually intact. And I'm like, and so I messaged them. I was like, can I put them back into a box like this for storage? And they say, yeah. I'm like,
okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna do Uncanny X-Force. I think David did it. He did the black and silver one with he did, yeah.
That same one.
But he also still needed wings. So that was a thing. Right. Wings are no joke.
Oh, yeah. So I'm gonna do that version, and I want to have I showed them a picture of Archangel from X-Men Apocalypse.
Okay.
I ain't gonna go into a rant about that movie, but anyway, I figured the way that I saw those wings on Etsy, I was like, if I can get them to look like Archangel's wings from the movie, that still will work.
Right.
See, I mean, because if you look at the comics, his wings are never drawn the exact same way twice. I mean, there's a general look that they have to them, but like sometimes you see him and he got one pair of wings. Sometimes you see him and his wings are like 6 different pairs and stuff. Like you just see them drawn.
Yeah, they're always drawn a little differently. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just like you never see Cable with the same amount of pouches. You never see Psylocke. You know, like Psylocke's legs, like the straps on her legs are asymmetrical. Like she got 2 on this side and like 30 on this side. They're drawn the exact same way. So I figured, hey, if I could just get them to model these angel wings a little bit to look techno-organic and spray them metallically, I'm good.
Hashtag cosplay your way.
Yep.
See? Yeah, absolutely.
This whole video without mentioning that the whole time.
Oh, wow. Was that the first time?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, but still, yes, cosplay your way. So yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Do it the way you want to do it, or do it the way you can do it. Trust me, I understand. Wings are hard.
Yeah.
They're hard.
You know what else we haven't said this whole video?
Uh-oh.
# hot wife cosplay. That's an inside joke from like a year ago, long time ago. Yeah, no, actually before that, because I think that was a few panels before that virtual one that we came up with that hot wife cosplay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
we've done a lot of panels.
we have. That's crazy.
I have to think about it. Yeah, we've done a lot of panels.
I miss.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I miss doing those. I miss kind of.
Oh, okay. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Wings are hard. I did Hot Girl once, and I need to get some new wings.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what I want is ambitious, but I want the wings where you can kind of pull a thing and it extends out and then it comes back in. But whoo, man, that's a pretty penny. That's a very pretty penny.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna try my hand at doing some of those pretty soon because I'm actually gonna do this for next year. So Falcon and Winter Soldier, right? You know, Falcon is now Captain America. Me being, y'all get your 2083 jokes out the way now. I'm a big Falcons fan, so I've had this idea of Falcon and the Falcons,
like the Atlanta Falcons and Falcon.
Yeah. So I'm basically just gonna take his his new costume, like the light blue, what he was wearing at the end of the series, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
In the series with Winter Soldier. Okay, gotcha.
But basically taking that costume, but everything that's blue, make it black instead.
Mm-hmm.
A Falcon logo in the center instead of the star, and do the same thing for the shield. But I'm like, I got to figure out how to do these wings. So I found a guy who he did it off of his wings that he had in the very beginning of the series, but he basically made out of cardboard a set where if you pull on them, it's like several different little moving parts, and they spread out here, and then you retract back in, just off from like pulling strings.
See, that's what I wanted.
Yeah, it doesn't look expensive. I'm gonna shoot you the link. It's on YouTube, but I'm like, I might do it out of foam core board instead of cardboard because I don't trust that at a con.
Oh yeah.
It's done. But yeah, so
it needs to be retractable just to navigate through something like a DragonCon. I can.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of DragonCon, last question. Did you actually go to DragonCon?
I did, yes.
How was it?
It was different.
Yeah.
It was different. We made the decision to go because we have a Hilton legacy room. So, we just kind of can keep getting the room every year without fighting with the Marriott to get a room like we were doing back in the days. So Hilton basically sent out an email and said, hey, you can get your one-night room and room deposit back if you request a refund within 4 days, but you'll lose your legacy status.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, or you can, keep it and come to DragonCon, yada, yada, yada. That's basically what it was. And so we were like, we want to keep legacy status, so we're going to go. We're just going to stay in our room, have room con. We're going to buy all these snacks and yada, yada, yada. And we're not going to really interact, out there with people. We're not even going to buy a badge. So let me tell you what your girl did. Let me tell you what your girl did. Let me tell you. We bought $73 worth of snacks.
Wow.
$73 worth of snacks. From cereal, milk, sandwich meat, bread, cheese, this, that, chips, you name it. We bought it.
Wow.
And again, I told you we were going to stay in the room. We weren't going to buy a badge, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Honey, we got to con. And it was like, hey, you want to go? We're going to Gus's Fried Chicken. Oh, yeah, we'll go. We're going to the food court. Oh, yeah, we'll go. Yeah, insert crickets here because I'm just so confused as to why we bought $73. And then Thursday night, after we, this is before we went to Gus's Fried Chicken. I can't believe I said that. Oh, that seems so weird. Black girl to my fried chicken. Oh, we went to Gus's Fried Chicken. Of course. Anyway. So we're like, are we going to buy a badge? No, we're not going to buy a badge. It's $140. Well, if we don't buy the badge, then we're just stuck at the Hilton. Well, we said we were going to have room con anyway. Honey, we bought the badges. We bought the damn badges. Let me go ahead and spoiler alert, we bought the badges. And we were out in the thick of things. And yes, we were out. They capped it at like 40,000 people this year, okay. Which was a dramatic difference because you could actually see the con floor, you could walk around, people weren't like just, here. And we went out of the room and stayed out till at least 3 o'clock in the morning from Thursday through Sunday night. So we were in the thick of things. We had on our masks every time we went out, every time we set foot anywhere. But we actually went to panels. I'm not used to going to panels because I'm used to being the cosplayer. Yeah. So we weren't used to going to panels, and we went to panels, and I was like, whoa, holy crap. So this is what it's like to wait in a line and go sit in here and listen to some people talk. So yeah, we did that. It was very different. It was a lot of people. DragonCon tried to be as safe as possible. Granted, they came out with the health protocols very late in the game, so I think a lot of people were ticked off about that. Yeah. But you had to, in order to get a badge, you had to either show your vaccine card or a negative COVID test. And they were offering COVID tests on site. Damn, your arms look good. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, that was not a party story. Anyway.
Wait, I was confused for a second. I was like, because I did like this. I was like, surely she's not talking about mine.
It's because I can see myself and I'm just like looking. But anyway, so yeah, you had to show a negative COVID test. You could take the test on site. That was so messed up, Sharita. Okay, anyway. So yeah, I was like, okay. So like I was saying, so I felt fine. We felt fine with doing it. Like I said, we weren't going to do it, but we ended up doing it and like being at the con. I only brought 2 costumes, which is weird. I only wore one, which was my Catwoman. I think I wore it on like Friday or Saturday night or whatever. It was just different. A lot of people weren't there. And then when people would come up to you, they'd be like, are we doing the hug thing? Or are we doing this? Or what are we doing? But I think because people knew that either you were vaccinated or you had a negative result, I did give out a few hugs. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I didn't hug anybody. Screw that. No, I did give out a few hugs.
That only lasted but so long for me. Like I'm a hugger. So like at some point.
Me too. Yeah. Me too. Natural hugger. I just like affection. So I'm just like, yeah. So I did hug people. We did hug people, blah, blah, blah. But everybody was very respectful. Everybody would kind of like wait and just be like, hey, you just kind of see what are we doing? Like, are we fist pumping? What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, and then I actually didn't have anybody that said, no, I'm not hugging. Everybody was just like, girl, come here. Girl. I ain't
seen you in 2 years. Come on here. Bring it in.
Exactly. So yeah, it was weird. It felt different. It did not feel like a party con, if that makes sense. Like, you know how DragonCon is like you used to just being out and there's music at the Pulse Bar and all this other stuff right here, and they had police there. Real ass cops. And I didn't like that because it felt like to me like they felt like they had the need to just be like, oh yeah, we need to have real cops here. And these cops had attitudes because they would be like, you need to move over there, or everybody needs to move over there. I mean, they all had attitudes. I'm not even joking. They all had attitudes. So it felt very threatening, if that makes sense. Like, just the presence and the, you see the guns and this and that. It felt different. It did. Yeah. It felt really different. Like, I will say that. I did have a good time. I will say that I had a good time, but it just, the vibe seemed a little off. Yeah. It just seemed really off. And like I said, having the cops there, and like I said, they all had attitudes. Like, for some reason, every time I saw a cop or heard them say something, it was just like, you need to go over there. We're all moving over here. We're shutting this down, right? I was like, why are you talking to us so hard? Like, this is so crazy.
Shut down at Dragon. Well, not that I've seen. Like, stuff don't get shut down there. I don't get it.
Yeah, it was definitely different. So the people, I feel like they were forcing you to either go to like a rave or something that was a bit more controlled, that when it was over and they turned the lights out, they'd be expecting you to get out. So I feel like that's what rather than you just kind of standing around and talking and, blah, blah, blah. I felt like they wanted you to be somewhere, They
didn't want no loitering, basically.
Correct. But yeah, let's face it, loitering happened. It totally happened. Yeah.
Was that main Florida Marriott the same?
Yes. The level where the Pulse is, they said it was closed, but it wasn't, because I totally saw people up there like partying and dancing and stuff. So I don't really know, but they've added like some effects. I took video, so I'm gonna put together this really cool little video, but they put like these little effects on the wall, like little dancing things on like a hologram type thing. Yeah, honestly, I expected them to kind of treat us a little better because, that whole year off and that whole year of them not making money and them not getting, alcohol sales and room sales and food sales. And, they were selling $13 slices of pizza for one slice. And I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. But, yeah, I expected them to kind of treat us better, but it seemed like they gouged all the prices. Everything was like jacked up. Then the police presence there, it was different. And then the parade, oh my God. Whew, that was tough.
Well, were you in it, or you just was watching it?
Oh God, no. I just watched it from the comfort of my Hilton bed.
Okay.
No, it was just like, they didn't allow regular attendees. So basically, if you didn't have a badge, you know what I mean? Like, you had to have
How do they enforce that, though?
When I tell you some kind of way it got enforced, I don't know. They closed all the streets off. I don't know. When you looked at the parade, I was watching it from bed. You could see the streets. And so the people that were marching in the parade, which was, it was just, you could see like a couple people on the bench, but otherwise the streets were empty. So they didn't have anybody really to wave at except a few people sporadically here and there. It was so sad. Like, to me, it was such a sad parade. Like, it was like, wow, this is sad. So yeah, it was different. It was light. It was different.
Yeah.
Some things, I think the attendance being lower was good. Yeah. As far as being able to maneuver around. But it was also bad because, like, you didn't have, like, just the regular onlookers taking pictures and just happy to see people in cosplay. You didn't have that.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'm looking forward to next year. I'm hoping next year will be better. I don't know what Miss Delta is gonna do. I don't know what Miss Delta. I'm calling her Miss Delta because I don't know what the Miss Delta is gonna do within the next, few months or whatever. She's wreaking havoc right now, Miss Delta variant. So I'm gonna need her to calm down. So I don't really know, but I'm hoping that next year it will be better.
Yeah, same. I kind of, for my sanity, I have to hope that it's going to be better. At the very least, I can trust DragonCon to, if for some odd reason, well, it can't be odd because we ended up having to do it this year because we all thought we was going to be fine this year.
Right.
I can trust that they'll do the same thing next year if they have to.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, looking at the videos and pictures I've seen, seeing that people did, I mean, of course you're going to have some people who weren't, doing what it's supposed to, but for the most part, I feel like I saw people taking the mask seriously.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's the fact that, either a negative test or a vaccine was required. I'm like, okay, I feel like I could safely go next year if for some reason everything stays
right
now.
I will say that they were definitely taking the mask seriously. Even when I wore my Catwoman, which is really weird, you see some of the pictures surfacing online, I have a mask on. It's just like, wow, Selena Kyle with a mask on. This is so weird. But yeah, it was just one of those things. When I did notice that people were not adhering to the mask policy was when it was later at night and there was drinking and people were dancing and people tend to have boom boxes, and when you drink alcohol, your body gets warm, blah, blah, blah. And I looked up and I'm like, that whole mosh pit has no mask on. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, okay, it's time for me to go over here now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that is probably the only time. Otherwise, even when you look at the pictures, most people have their mask on. Sometimes people just pull it down for a picture, which is fine. Right. You pull it down for a picture and then you put it back up. I was fine with that, but for the most part, I think people adhere to it, and I felt better just knowing that you had to have a vaccine card or you had to be tested. So I just felt a whole lot better. I haven't been around people since, DragonCon. We left on Monday. I just want to kind of like make sure, I don't get sick within the next 10 days, just making sure. So I'm just not really around anybody right now. Thankfully, I'm working mostly from home. Yeah. And when I do go in the office, it's just one person, me. So I'm thankful that I can kind of quarantine myself after attending this event, and then yeah,
amen to that. So
I'm still keeping it safe. Ree is keeping it safe.
Thank you. Somebody got some sense out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I care about the health of myself and others for
Amen.
Sure.
Amen. So Ree, before we get out of here, is there anything you want to say, anything you got to get off your chest? Where can people find you? Anything you want to promote, anything you want to plug, all of that?
I would like to plug my YouTube channel for sure. I post full follow-along workouts on my YouTube channel. Some require dumbbells, some require no equipment at all. And when I say full follow-along, meaning that you can mute me, rock out to your own music and just follow along, working out from home. So some people who still don't want to go to the gym, i.e. me, because I saw what the people were doing before COVID, not wiping the machines down and all the other stuff. That's a whole nother story.
Right. Just nasty.
Right. So I kind of feel better with my own home gym. So I'm still working out at home. And so follow me on YouTube, and you can just type in SuperFit with Ree. I will come up. I am also on Instagram, SuperFit with Bree. Thank you, Jabbar. I am on Twitter. My Twitter is very sad and pitiful, but I do tweet on Twitter. SuperFit with Bree. Everything is SuperFit with Bree. That's literally how you can find me. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for having me. Feel free to, I want people to know that you can cosplay regardless of anything, race, size, gender, sexuality, what have you.
Whatever.
I'm gonna drop it again. Cosplay your way. Do you.
Cosplay your way.
Cosplay your way. Yes. I am one of the advocates for Cosplay Your Way. So yes, I have to definitely push it because I understand.
Yeah.
You guys watching this interview will definitely see that I started out very apprehensive about it. Excited and then apprehensive.
Yeah.
And then back to excited again. So
Cool.
I think that's all I got.
Wonderful. Reed, thank you so much for taking time and geeking out with me tonight. I really appreciate that. Y'all at home, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for joining us. Thank y'all for putting up with us for over an hour now.
Has it been over an hour?
Yeah. Our interviews just keep getting longer and longer. I don't know how it happens. We just be having a good time running our mouths, you know?
Man, I mean, I didn't even feel that. This was great. Like, this was such a great non-interview that I really enjoyed it. I didn't feel the time. Like, I just looked at my Fitbit. Like, seriously.
I did.
Also, I'm on Fitbit. SuperFit with Ray.
Oh, you on Fitbit for? Is I didn't know that was a thing.
Yes, you can like do challenges on Fitbit, you know, walking challenges, things like that. Oh yeah, absolutely. So I'm on Fitbit. Yeah.
There you go. On Fitbit too. Fitbit Reed. I learned something today. Wow.
Do you have a Fitbit?
I ain't got nothing.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I use it, but I know that it's not 100% accurate. It's just kind of helping me to loosely keep track of my steps. So it's not the end all be all, but yeah, a lot of people do have it. And you can post on Fitbit, which is really crazy, like forums and, you know, things like that. Okay, that's enough. I'm done.
I'm gonna say this last thing, but I'm gonna shut up. There's a meme out there that says something like, all a Fitbit is like, I don't know if it was Tamagotchi or whatever, the little digital things from like way back in like the 90s where you were trying to keep like a digital pet alive.
You mean like the little you talking about the little pedometer thingy? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it was like a little game where you had a pet, but it was a digital pet that you would take.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Somebody basically said that all a Fitbit is that, but instead of keeping a digital pet alive, you're keeping you alive.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's very loose. I swear it is. But these challenges be real. Like when I tell you these people, the challenges are like cutthroat on Fitbit. I will have people like the last couple of challenges. Last couple of challenges I actually won because I was at DragonCon, and you know that's nothing but a bunch of walking,
yes.
You know, for RoomCon and the $73 worth of snacks that I purchased. Right. So
I didn't step foot because I knew I would get sucked in. I was like, I'm staying far away. I ain't supposed to be here. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, RoomCon didn't quite happen. So I ended up doing a whole lot of walking and I won the challenges. And then I would see people like quitting the challenge. I'm like, okay. It feels like it was the equivalent of like a rage quitting when like when you're beating somebody in a fighting game and then they just quit and you're like, damn it.
Like,
but yeah.
You beat me on the first day. I ain't got no chance.
So yeah.
Cool. All right, people at home. I'm gonna shut both of us up because we could keep talking. We really could. Thank y'all again. Y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good time, whatever kind you're going to next. Please be safe out there.
Absolutely.
Wherever you go, you're gonna con, you're gonna not con, cosplay, not cosplay. Be safe. Good luck on your cosplay builds. Please hit that like button, that subscribe button, that share button. Leave me some comments. Do all of that for Reed. And I will see y'all at the next video. Peace.